John, a offensive output like this, where a lot of different players get a lot out, what can this do for the lineup going forward now, snowballing?
Yeah, hopefully that kind of carries over. I think good at bats up and down. Kind of everyone doing their part. Really good at bats from Schneid, Valley, obviously, Hemi. With the RBI single there with 2 outs. Hopefully it just gets a little contagious. I think when we're at our best, everyone kind of feeds off of one another. And Vlad, big night for him, hitting the ball hard, and all in all, just pretty good offensively. I thought we kind of adjusted to what Simeon was doing early and had a really good approach.
Valenzuela, what was it like for you to see him have that moment, and what could you see in that?
Yeah, that was cool, man. You know, checking off first RBI home run hit in Chicago. Awesome for him. We needed that. I think just being convicted to an approach. I think it was 1-0 after a fastball up and not being afraid to take a shot. So it's something we've talked about with him since spring training, and he's been pretty good so far in terms of not being phased with a lot of stuff. So cool for the dugout to react that way too.
John, I feel like we've asked you this a couple hundred times now, but when you see Vlad have those kind of ropes across center field, is that still the thing that tells you, okay, he's kind of got it now, or has that changed over time?
No, that's kind of it. I think when he's hitting the ball hard, even his last day be the left, when he's hitting the ball hard, it's a good thing. Just means he's on time, he's synced up, and the home runs come just because of how hard he hits the ball. Just kind of depends on where he clicks it, point of contact. But I thought that was after his first AB, 1-2 heater, gets jammed a little bit. I think that he took some really, really intentful swings, and yeah, I think he's always right there. But that was a good night for him.
And what did you make of your first look at Corbin on your side?
I thought, for one, him coming up here, I tried to downplay it a little bit to you guys. Sorry, but it's one outing in the minors, and it's kind of a big ask to come up and go compete against the major league roster. So I thought he did. I thought he did a good job. Just the homer to Jeffers, just probably wrong pitch selection in that time, and then the one to Lee, probably just wrong execution. But other than that, I mean, the dude has a feel for pitching. He's got a good tempo. He's working with a new catcher, all that kind of stuff. So he was actually, if we didn't score, he was going to go back out for the fifth. He wanted some more too, which says a lot about him. But overall, I thought that he was a savvy major league pitcher, and I don't want to think too lightly of the fact that he hasn't had much of a ramp up. So to go do that, I think was kind of just what we're looking for.
Hey, John, with Brandon, you mentioned that he doesn't seem phased. What else from his game has made you think that way?
Um, you kind of watch him interact with the pitchers. You watch him with Pete and the pitchers in the meetings and things like that. You kind of watch how he interacts with the guys, and he's got a pretty good way about him. So I remember going back to spring training, kind of sitting down with him and Pop and talking offensively. Don't be afraid to take some shots, and don't be afraid to use your athleticism. I mean, he hit that ball. I think it was 111 or 112, whatever it was. So to do it in real time is pretty impressive. For a guy making his major league debut just a week into it. So the things that I look for is how he handles himself in between innings, how he handles himself pregame, and things like that, and then not being afraid to go out and do it. So far, so good.
And what do you like about Davis's at bats lately?
I think just understanding. I mean, he understands the strike zone, and I think he's gotten off to a good start after a rough spring. You know what I mean? Which I think we all put too much emphasis on. He adds an element to our lineup that is needed, and whether it's working walks or hitting the ball hard or understanding where he's going to be pitched, I think that the last couple of games have been pretty indicative of what he can do, and it's a really good compliment to what we have else up and down the lineup.
You guys have spent some time early in the season looking for answers in the bullpen. And then tonight, kind of quietly, Mantiply was really good again, and then even Miles at the end. Do you feel like you guys are getting a little closer to finding some of those answers that you've been cycling through in the last little bit?
Hopefully, yeah. Today was a weird one. When the starter goes 4, you're probably going to have someone go 2, like Fish did, and Fish can do multiple things. He can come in and squash an inning or do what he did tonight, and the way it kind of lined up there with Tommy coming in and doing his part, and then Joe was huge, kind of keeping that game right there, with the strikeouts and understanding where he fit in. So I thought that was key. Louis was really good. I think just if you're going to nitpick, there was a couple walks that probably could have been avoided from the pen, but I mean, they came in and filled up the zone for the most part and got strikeouts. So hopefully, yeah, it's a never-ending puzzle you're trying to solve throughout the course of the year, and guys are going to fit in different ways. But I think today, the way they responded, all of them really, Tommy to Joe to Louis and then Fish, I thought it was really, really well done by them.
John, Hime is leading the team in RBIs. What have you seen from his offense lately?
Just consistent. I think Himmy, going back to like last year with the injuries in the regular season and then into the postseason to where I thought he played really, really, really well. I think just kind of having a year under his belt here and understanding, getting back to the player that he is. And, you can sack bunt with him. You can hit and run with him. He can move a guy. He can get a big hit. He can hit home run. I think that he's just really staying within himself. And that's what we want everyone to do. Himmy's such a good player. I mean, every day he does something to help you win. And I think right now he's just a little bit more comfortable with everything that we're doing offensively and what he needs to be to kind of fit into our lineup offensively. So I don't want to say I'm surprised. Again, I'm not asking the dude to hit 300 with 30, just go do your part. But I think he's just in a way better place right now with his overall game offensively.
John, out of the Patrick Corbin spot right now in the rotation, like what's enough innings per outing to kind of keep the bullpen stable and to keep you guys from avoiding the churn?
I think right now, kind of when you look at the schedule with some off days, I mean, kind of that, 5, 4, 5, if it's great, 6, if we score, let them go a little bit, but kind of like that, just understand how to navigate a lineup, understand where you are. And I think the schedule kind of lines up to where we can lean on the bullpen a little bit, and hopefully they fall into line too. But I think 5 is kind of the magic number for anyone, really, and especially at this stage of the season, probably minus Kev and minus Dylan. But I think you get an outing like that where, okay, here's your pitch count, and you can get 12, 15, 17 outs. I think that's a good outcome for that right now.
Thank you, Schneider.
Thanks, guys.